picture is there? Hello? You don't see me. Oh, why don't you see me now? Hello, hello, hello. This is not Tom Couch adjusted. Hello, hi. Excellent.
Is muted.
Not anymore. It's not.
No. Hello.
I'm going to turn off. We're going to hang up because I can hear you on the computer.
Okay.
Can you hear me on the computer?
I hear you in my headphone. Yes.
Excellent.
Do you see me yet?
Nope.
Well,
I'm trying to turn on. Yeah, there's something wrong with your camera.
how very odd.
But we have the audio, and that's really what the important part.
Okay. How very weird.
What's
yeah,
fun?
it was. My camera was on because the light was on,
Okay.
and then it went off.
And it looks like it's on now.
Do you see my? Oh, it's green light again.
There you are.
Holy moly! I see me.
Hi.
Hello. I can actually.
Let's see. It's so easy. This technology is fantastic.
Although there's a tad of a delay between your lips and the words.
Yeah. And now you're not there. I mean, your voice is there, but when you talk, I don't see you.
Microsoft window. Oh, MGISVR has stopped working.
Ah, I hate it when that happens.
I have no idea what that means, but
There.
okay.
Well,
oh, it should be back on now. I'm seeing me.
There you are. See, this didn't take long. It only took 45 minutes to get it going?
Yeah, that would be it.
Okay.
It's Tom. Donna's looking over my shoulder. That's Tom.
Hi, Donna.
It's on the headset.
Yeah, well, tell her I said hi. So the next question is, how can I play audio? Because I was thinking it'd be fun to play the intro and have you guys start, but I don't think there's any easy way to do that. You know?
I don't think so. Not this way, not through this system.
Yeah.
Let's see what would happen if I were to play that on my system.
Well, if it doesn't work, I hope you have a nice evening.
It really been nice seeing you. Can you hear that?
Very lightly, like it's coming from a TV speaker across the room.
Can you hear it?
Not really, no.
You can't.
I mean, I know it's there, but I don't hear it.
Okay, so you can't hear it.
No. Now,
right, well,
what happens?
So that won't work.
But let me try this. Let me try playing it on mine and see how my microphone seeing if the microphone picks it up when it plays.
Okay.
Time now for a morning show has come. It's Classic Rock AM America. 3 radio veterans joining together to share their love of classic rock with their hatred of the early mornings. From their varied backgrounds in television news, metal shops, and they're the greatest of the great, and their humility knows no bounds. So please welcome now our AM America, with Charlie Kendall.
How did that sound?
Sort of like a screeching bird.
Well, then maybe this is not the forum that we practice being on the air with sound. We can just
This would be something you would have to add in later. I don't. Which thank God you can do in Pro Tools.
Yep. But I think that I will put together a few breaks, and we'll just have to do stuff. You can guys, like, you can hear that, and I'll send it out to everybody, and we can do like a fake intro or whatever, and I'll set up some basic structure for a few breaks just in this forum before we actually hit the museum.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea that we bounce a little something off, but the real test is going to become face to face.
Right.
That.
But I think that there's definitely a chemistry thing happening here in spite of all this.
Well, so. I know the players. This will be fine. We just have to get it done. Did you, Carlisle, tell you that KC Webb called?
No.
Yes, he called him day before yesterday, I guess, at like 6:30 in the morning.
What did he have to say?
Dan said he looked at the screen and said no and put it down, but Kavanaugh did answer, and Kavanaugh basically told him, he said, "Look, we haven't heard from you in a month." He said, "Well, I had some family problems, and I was working on the financing, but I've got the financing now." And Kavanaugh said, "Look, you've got a phone. You could have told us. We've moved along. Thanks. Bye," and hung up on him.
Wow.
But he hasn't called me, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is.
The advantage, like when we were dealing with Kakianis, he had the job.
Yeah.
He was a live wire, but he had a job and responsibility.
Well, it was a little easier there because, well, for the first 2 years, until we got ratings and he was convinced it was all his fault, it was easy because he didn't bother me.
Right.
Because corporate brought me in. He didn't.
Right.
Because
he would have hired Richard. He would have kept Richard on probably.
Well, he was. I mean, but they were telling him, look, you might as well change the format.
Right.
Because Mel was such a whiz that he generated. This is basically, $400,000 a month easy.
Right.
Kakianis was half of that. He was still making money.
Right.
Because in those days, the only person making money was Kakianis and
Karmazon.
What was her name? Rosemary.
Rosemary, right.
And Scott and Dave.
Right.
They were the only ones making real money.
Right.
I mean, I came in for something like 75 plus bonuses. It was nothing.
Right.
You came in for like, what was it, 40 or something?
40, yeah.
So did Carlisle. When I moved, but the other guys had been there so fucking long that it was just overwhelming. So when we moved Pete off middays and put Dave in there, for Pete to do 2 shows was like over $50,000. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where they would never let me see what the contracts or what they were doing. And then when I'm getting into that and I'm looking at it and it's like, fuck, I was like, look, we're barely covering the union minimums here, for God's sake, So it was weird. And once the numbers came, Mike was convinced that he made it happen.
Right.
And then, of course, I had to overplay my fucking hand just a tad.
And Scott and I are like, you sure you want to do that now?
Scott said, and I quote, "Why don't you just put a gun to your head, Fats, and pull the trigger?" That was it, you know. And he was right, you know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, you know. Kakianis got me in a dick measuring contest, and I wasn't backing down. So
yeah. Well, and if you had stayed, it would have been more of the ugly same. I mean,
well, I know.
Unless you made it.
Remember, I was still in Jersey, so I heard the stupid promotions continue, you know, and I heard things happening on the air that were just like,
yeah,
what are you doing? You know,
yeah.
K-Rock's going to kick your ass. He was convinced that they couldn't do it. And you remember when I jumped on Stern in the beginning, in the press and in the media, in radio and records, and in the daily news, and anybody who would call me, I would bad rap Stern to no end. He got pissed at me about that.
Oh,
he said, "Well, no, Mel's our friend." I went, "What are you, fucking nuts? No, he's not our friend. You know, he wants to kill us. He wants to prove to Metro Media management that they should have made him the executive vice president and not Vicky Callahan."
Right.
That was the whole deal.
Right.
It was everything. That's why he left and went with the old Metro Media guys, Wiener and Karras.
Who promoted Vicky? Who hired Vicky to be executive vice president? Was that Carl? Or was that Carl? George Duncan?
Yeah, George Duncan.
Uh-huh.
Duncan was the one who wanted me in.
Okay.
Because I got along. What the fuck was the executive vice president's name? He's the one who hired me in Philly.
Howard?
No, not Mike Halloran. Damn it!
Not
he
Howard.
He was an old country guy, and
Okay.
he and Hal Smith were great friends.
Okay.
The GM at that came in to MMR.
Uh-huh.
Bruce Holberg was the GM, and he had been working with Pollock, and Pollock tried to hold them up for like, you know, $10,000 a month to be the consultant. And they told him to go fuck himself. You know, he said, "Well, I'll just bury you." So he went over to YSP across the street. Right. And then I came in and met with, God, what? Jesus, I hate it. It's like mush, you know.
Not Mike Craven or anything. Is that it? Or?
No, Craven was much later.
Later, yeah.
Yeah, this was damn it, I can't remember his name, but it'll come to me. But anyway, or I'll save it for the book someday. I meet with him, but he's an old country guy, and I'm coming in, you know, out of BCN and whatever I'm doing, and I always wore boots, even back then, and I had on my cowboy boots and a suit that day.
Is everything okay?
What?
Okay. I'm sure it can.
I mean, I can't even get it off.
Okay, we'll have to.
Can you figure that out? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like this.
You know what, Charlie? I should go.
There you go.
Okay.
But we'll talk.
Yeah, otherwise, I'll tell you stories all day.
But I gotta go.
Bye.
Bye. See you later. I did.